Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. For this week's episode, we don't even know what we're going to talk about.
It was Monday,
and we must record. But we're excited. I feel like we have stuff to talk about for sure. We just don't really have like a concept for the episode, which we normally have going into it. So maybe this will just be like a yapping episode,
a rabbit hole video, or we'll just like talk about whatever we want the whole time.
Yeah,
we're not sure.
That's the beauty of this podcast, is that it's just two girls.
Yes.
Trying our best.
Let's see. First, we usually start off with our weekly spotlights. So, do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
I will start. So my spotlight is that yesterday we had Vegas's first birthday.
Ciera really became like dog mom to the max.
I really did. I mean, honestly, our guests took it like above and beyond what I was expecting. Because like, so basically yesterday was June 30th, which is Vegas's actual birthday. It worked out nicely that it was actually like on a Sunday where we could get everyone together. And so we sent out little invites, and I had people like RSVP because I was ordering like pizza, and then also like dogs were also invited. And so I needed to know how many dogs would be here. So I knew how many dog desserts to get. We have like a little dog pool that we filled up. The weather was beautiful. I even had a little bit sunburnt on my shoulders.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And so we had collectively, how many people? It was us two, our mom and dad, our grandma, Haley, Ashton, Henry, and then Maggie and Sam showed up. So it was like 10 people. And then there were, aside from Vegas, 4 dogs. And so all great and fun to start. There was a little spat or feud between our mom's dog Chance and then Haley and Ashton's dog Zako. I didn't even really see what was going on. I just like heard them like kind of like barking at each other. So then my mom took Chance.
I don't really know what instigated it. I was inside.
Yeah. My mom ended up taking Chance back home, and then like things calmed down a little bit. I'm guessing it was like just like too much male energy is my only guess.
Yeah.
And Vegas was like, even though he's a male, like he is very submissive. Like I've noticed when we take him to the dog park, like he will just like, he wants to be chased, and then like if he is chased and they like catch him, like he is like on the ground like rolling around and they're like on top of him. And so I mean that's great for me because he's not very aggressive like at all. He's never shown any like aggression or anything, which I love because I would get nervous if he did. And I'm also like not, if my mom and dad are listening, because I'm sure they are, I'm not trying to say your dogs are aggressive. I don't even know what happened, but they just were not getting along well, and I don't know why. And then it was funny because our mom, she brought Chance, who Vegas loves. Vegas is with Chance right now, actually. They spend every Sunday or Monday together whenever we're recording our podcast.
Little doggy play date.
And my mom has 2 other dogs. We have Lily, who was not here because she has hip dysplasia and she just doesn't like playing with other dogs. And my mom was just like, maybe it'd be best if she just like rest at home and not worry about being like trampled by a million dogs. And then she's got Daisy / Trice. Don't even ask about it. But there's another dog that was here at the party. And she was funny because she's so chill. She doesn't really like to play, but she also like doesn't care if other dogs start to bother her.
Get aggressive.
And so I could tell for a while like she was just wanting to leave, especially like when my mom had taken Chance home and my mom was gone for like 30 minutes or so. She was like waiting by the fence,
ready to go.
She's like sitting by the fence where my mom left, and she was like, where is she at? Like, I'm ready to leave. And then like towards the end, because she was the last dog there too, and so like towards the end, you would think that Vegas would have been tired, like worn out, laying down. He's like trying to like bite her snout in a loving way, playfully. Like his whole mouth is like literally around her snout, and she's just like sitting there. And I'm like, oh my god, relax. She would like to leave. And certainly when they left, like she was like, her leash is on, she's heading towards the gate. She's like, let's go.
I think Vegas had a blast, though.
Zako and Zaya, they were good. They had some fun. When Vegas got them to start chasing him, he was having a blast. And then we had, like for the humans then, we had pizza, which is really good. We have some leftover pizza that's going to be for dinner tonight. And we ended up having...
Also, tell me why I was not expecting people to bring presents for Vegas.
I was not either.
And, like, almost everyone did.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. And they all, like, thank you for the presents, but most of them are already in the trash.
Yeah, he destroyed them.
He is so, like, one thing he's aggressive with is his toys. Like, my goodness. That's why if you look at, like, the toys that we have for him, they are all, like, hard
Plastic.
not plastic, but, like, bones, but, like, not bones.
I don't know the material.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. But, like, it's stuff that he can actually, like, chew on and it won't be destroyed in 2 seconds. Like, that is what he
did
gets
get,
for
like,
toys.
2 stuffed squeak toys. They're gone. They didn't last. He got
Like a turtle.
tennis balls. Can't do that because he'll chew them up. Even though Ciera did have some tennis balls in the yard yesterday. Nothing is. He's gone through a Kong once. Yeah.
But he obviously loved it. And then we ended up we were gonna have cornhole set up. I mean, it was set up, but we start, like, Megan, my mom, starts, like, throwing the bean bags, and Vegas is like, oh, I will go get that. And so, like,
She doesn't usually even play fetch. So
that's what you just said. You said she doesn't usually play fetch.
I thought I said he.
Anyway, Vegas is a boy. No, he really doesn't play fetch that much, and so
I said which he, so maybe that's what it sounded
Maybe I
like.
was confused.
I'm pretty confident.
my grandma always she always misgenders him. And it just, like, I, like, stopped correcting her because it's like, what's the point? Yesterday at his birthday party, she's like, oh, whenever,
And she comes and lets him out.
right,
Like, I actually don't always ask her anymore, but like
like,
she
she's
knows
familiar
him.
with him.
Yeah.
With her. To grandma, it's her. She. Happy birthday,
It's
Vegas.
whatever grandma wants.
Yeah, if she comes and lets him out, she can call him whatever she wants. But it was funny. She was just, like, saying stuff about, like, oh, she's so skinny or whatever. Like, she's saying about him. And I'm like, he is so skinny, but okay. So anyway, cornhole didn't work because Vegas kept trying to pick up all the bags. He would, like, bring one of the bags to the pool and
Would not leave him alone.
so. But all of that being said, I think the party was a success. I think people had fun. All of the dogs got, like, little Ben and Jerry's dog treats, and so it looked like one of their little, like, ice cream pints, which I thought was cute. It was peanut butter and pretzel flavored, and I just, like, gave each of the dogs, like, the carton, you know, and most dogs will, like, lick out the inside, leave the empty scraps to be thrown away. Vegas, which does not surprise me, was like, I'll just try and eat the whole thing. And so there was a point where the cardboard container had been, like, crumpled up, flattened. He's, like, in it. It's in his mouth. He's, like, trying to swallow it. And I'm like, no. Like, don't do that. So I did get it from him and threw that away. But, like, all the other dogs, it's, like, perfectly intact containers that are just, like, wiped clean. And Vegas is, like, a disc that's still got some, like, the ice cream stuff on it. And I'm just like,
He's
what are
trying
you
to
doing?
eat the whole thing now.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it was a good little first birthday party. And I think Vegas had a blast.
Many more to come.
My
What's your
weekly spotlight. I'm kind of getting in my TikTok groove again. And so I decided this, like, middle of last week or whatever, that I was, like, gonna start trying to post more and, like, kind of not take it too seriously, because I'm like, you know what, like, I have no issue, like, talking, you know, on the podcast, on the vlog, and I'm not really trying to stick to, like, one specific kind of content on TikTok. And I've posted on there before. Like, I kind of have gone in spurts before, but I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent. You can go follow me at Megan Stitz 1. And so I've posted a couple different things. I'll probably post some book stuff on there. I'll probably post, like, some day in the life vlogs. That's what I'm trying to, like, I'm working on one today. So then it will already have been posted by the time this podcast goes up. Surprisingly, and I maybe have found my niche, although I'm not sure if I'm going to continue doing this or not. So I guess I'll kind of, like, backtrack a little bit. Yesterday was Sunday. We did Vegas's birthday party. And then that was over at 2. We had kind of cleaned up. And Ciera kind of jokingly, although, like, knowing both of us,
it's always, like, a running joke.
It's like a joke, but also, like, we are kind of, like, but seriously. Like,
no, but, like, for real.
No, seriously, we should. So what I'm talking about, and you guys are no strangers to this, Ciera and I are single.
Welcome to the podcast.
And so we're not on dating apps. We are both trying to meet people organically in a perfect world.
IRL.
And so knowing that, like Ciera and I do a lot of things together, okay? Because oftentimes we have the same interests, we have the same like,
and we're friends. Like,
Yeah,
sorry, we like
geez.
hanging out. My goodness.
However, I would say it's probably harder to meet people organically, unless like if you're going out, people go out with friends, like that's a different situation. But like day to day, you know, during daylight hours, it's going to be harder for you to approach someone and or for someone to approach you in an organic manner with like someone with you.
Yeah.
And so knowing that, Ciera and I sometimes have kind of been like, we need to do like separate solo outings, like get away from each other a little bit. And so Ciera was jokingly, but again, seriously, like, you should go somewhere.
I was like, leave and don't come back until you get someone's phone number. That's like my running joke.
And I was like,
say.
I mean, it cuts to the point because we don't really have like a name for this. Solo outings, I guess, could be a name, but like, whatever. So I was kind of like, look, I'm not doing anything else. Ciera was going to go work out anyways. That was her solo outing. And I made a TikTok about this. So if you really want the full experience, and it's at like 65,000 views right now.
No, I see. So, you were like, I'm the one that gave you the idea of like, just record it. You're in your TikTok era. Like, you can post it or not, but like, you'll have something. And this is the content you eat up. I know. So you shouldn't be surprised that it's doing well.
So anyways, basically I went to Gray's Lake, which is like a lake recreation park area. It's got a trail around that like is a loop that people will run, bike, walk on. And I decided to go walk around there, scope some people out. Going into like this whole thing, and like no matter which setting I were to be in for like a solo outing, I feel like the first thing is like you're kind of doing a game of I Spy, first of all. And this is a situation where I am trying to work up the courage to go up and talk to people. I'm not just trying to like manifest someone coming up and talking to me because like I don't have that much power. So the first component has been like playing a game of I Spy to be like, is there anyone here that I would be interested in talking to? And we have done this. I don't know if this was all the way last summer that this happened.
It probably was, honestly.
Holy cow. We went to this park last summer, and although we were together, so like what were we doing? This is when we shared the weird experience of like a middle-aged man biking across the bridge being like, I'm single, to both of us. Is that what he said?
I don't remember what he said, but it was like, I think we mentioned it in that episode. It was like weirdly like, not timely is the right word, but like
we were there scoping out people, and like he was not who we were looking for, but like
right.
why did he say that? And so that experience, I was like, no one's here. But this time around, there were more people there. There was one guy specifically that I was like kind of, keeping my eye on, tracking around the place. And in my TikTok, I was like, after I had like done like a third glance and it was like the closest I got to him, face card is very important to me. And first of all, this guy had like, he had glasses on.
Pascal from
so
Tangled.
I couldn't
You're like,
entirely tell. But like, obviously from afar, I was kind of like, okay, he seems attractive. I also was like, how do you know how old people are in public? Especially if they have sunglasses on and like a hat. I feel like it gets harder and harder to tell. And you really also don't know until like you're closer to them. Anyways. But when I did get like a closer look, I was just like, I'm not confident enough. Like,
to like go shoot your shot.
Yeah. Because I'm like, if you're shooting your shot, I feel like you really have to be like,
sold.
Yes, I'm 100% interested in you. And if you're okay with talking to me, then like this is the done deal. That's how because like if someone were to approach me and all of a sudden be like, I'm actually not interested, I'd be like, you approached me.
Right.
What are you doing? So I was just like, okay, this isn't going to be like the time. But it was kind of a fun little experiment. I just am kind of like, look, at the very least, it's a little bit of plot to my life right now. And that's all it needs to be. If something happens, it happens.
I can talk through like my outing. Nothing happened for my outing either. And I also like didn't really go with the intention of like, scoping. But I was like, I'm going to go work out and like I'm going to run a few errands and stuff. And like, my method, instead of like saying I was going to approach someone, was like, let's just do like the I Spy like scoping and like, is this a viable place? And like, where am I going? Places that I know are not viable places. So I worked out. I will say I wouldn't approach someone at the gym, I don't think, but like Sundays, low key, like seem to be like a decent day for like guys our
I've
age.
kind of noticed like Saturday midday is what
Maybe it's just
I
like
feel
midday in general.
maybe.
Because I was there, I'm just kind of like mid-afternoon. I also like do wonder like how much of it is like the cheerleader effect at the gym of like there's just I can tell there are a lot of guys roughly my age, but like are any single one of them.
Another thing I would say to like my TikTok specifically was like I feel like it was nice to see that my TikTok hit like an audience that I was pleased with. I feel like a lot of it was like girls my age who like are just relating to the content, which like at the very least that in itself is nice. Mm-hmm. Just to be like, and some people are trying to like give some places to like look or scope out. So hey, maybe next I reply back to a comment. Here's part 2.
Oh, there you go. We can after we're done talking, we can do like we can plan.
Oh God,
the next excursion. And that way we can hold you accountable for your new audience. Anyway, I was scoping the gym out. I mean, honestly, the one guy that I thought maybe was cute was like I saw him like as he was heading down the stairs, and I was like, wait, no, who's that? Come back. Then he's gone. Disappeared forever. We'll never see him again. And then I was like, honestly, I get confused with like our gym. There's a pool. I'm like, should I go to the pool? I had packed a swimsuit, and I was like, I get confused if the pool is included or not. But then it was like gonna close at like 5, and it was like I just am not gonna worry about it. I don't even know if I can go there. So I had decided to then go to Barnes and Noble. Is Barnes and Noble here's what I want to know. Where do guys who read get their books? I think they just order them on Amazon. Because
probably. They're not at the bookstore.
No, they're not. At the Barnes and Noble that I went to, it was all women, old men, or men with women. And so that left quite literally. I even went upstairs to the nonfiction section.
Oh,
so I was looking at stuff. There's no one up there. So I was doing some gathering for myself though because I'm
going upstairs to the nonfiction.
I'm trying to read some nonfiction too, but there's no one there. Then I left and I went to Old Navy because I had to get a couple things.
Had to.
And when I was at Old Navy, because it's like in the same general area as like Jordan Creek Mall, which is the main shopping mall in Des Moines, I could hear as I was walking outside. I was like, I think I hear music. And so I was like, okay, little last ditch effort. Let's go across the way yonder by the mall. And there's like this pond area. And I don't know what the reason was. I think you just said they do music on Sundays or something.
I think they do just like
so it's like a ton of people like with lawn chairs and stuff just like situated around this like it's a very, very small amphitheater, like tiny, and then just like situated around the lake where they could still hear the music. To my knowledge, I saw like no one that was like single / my age, like, you know.
It's hard because like I genuinely feel like, you know, as we've coined the term age appropriate attractive males, I don't think they go solo anywhere.
Right.
Like
which is tough.
I really don't. If they do, I have no idea
where
they go.
I have to give a shout out. There was some like food trucks and ice cream trucks at this place, and the ice cream truck was called Sweet Swirls Handcrafted Scoops, and it was so flipping good. I got a little small scoop of, I think it was called Cookie Monster ice cream or something, and it was like, you could tell it was like homemade chocolate ice cream. Like it was like the vanilla with the chocolate, like you could tell it was like that kind of chocolate ice cream. And there's like chunks of cookie dough and brownie. And so I took a scoop of that, and then I did a lap around the pond while I ate it.
We both did some.
I was also like toying with like because part of my outing, I also was like, maybe I should just like talk to a person. You know, doesn't have to be like any
just to work on some small talk
intention behind it. And there was a security guard that I could see there's like quite a few security guards just like outside wandering around. I was like, should I ask them what's going on like this event? And then I was like, no. So I didn't talk to a single soul. That was about it for my outing.
I did this was all like, this doesn't matter, but like I did a lap around when I was at the park, and then I also did like some stopping, and I read in the grass a little bit. I read my book, and I was trying to do some more scoping out, but like I was not having much luck with that.
Well, this can bring us to our book update.
There we go.
Book update. I just finished reading that Charlie Donnelly book that I was talking about, and its name escapes me right now because all of his books blend together. This one's called Long Time Gone. Give it 4 stars. I mean, his books, it's like the type of book where it's good while you're reading it. It's a quick read, and like you read it and you're like, that's gonna blend with all like of the other books of his that I've read, because I think I've read 4 now, and
they are like distinct memories 20 years later.
Yeah, so they're like all the same book, but still good. And I'm still reading The Gift of Fear, and I'm also reading The Measure now.
I'm trying to think. I think the last update was me having finished the book I said I finished, and that I was now reading The Measure. I am still reading The Measure, and I'm at like page 99 now, so at least I'm kind of like feeling like I'm making some headway. But I've got to admit, I mean, I'm liking it, but I feel like I've read more the book than I have. Like, why does it feel like I should be on like page 200?
Oh dang.
And I'm not.
I've barely started. I think I read 2 chapters.
I'm liking it. I just am, for whatever reason, like, I haven't been reading a whole lot, and so it is what it is. I'm trying to get better. If I am mistaken, I didn't most recently say that I finished This Summer Will Be Different, then that was the most recent book that I did.
Is that your
finish.
favorite Carly Fortune book?
I would say so. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars.
We read 2,
right? Or
4.5.
4.5. Okay, I was like, I think I gave it 4.5 stars. I really liked it, and as much as I loved Every Summer After had a trope in it that like I was just like, oh, that kind of bothers me. Versus this one, I had like no qualms with it, and so that was nice. So I would recommend it if anyone's looking for a good summer romance.
Should we talk about Olympic trials?
Let's do that. I was like, there's something else we wanted to talk about,
and then we'll circle back to planning your or mine.
Oh God.
Next Saturday.
I can like look through some of the comments on my TikTok and see what people are saying.
You can do that. So Olympic trials also took place yesterday. We had a busy day yesterday, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
This episode is basically just a Sunday recap.
We did not watch the Friday. Like, we didn't watch the first day of trials.
I honestly must admit, like, I do not keep up that much with elite gymnastics. Mm-hmm. Like, I tune in for the big competitions. I usually like watch the routines after the fact, just because like with streaming, sometimes it's hard to tune in directly.
Got myself a Peacock subscription for the Olympics and
like,
the trials.
You need that though, you know.
I know.
So like we love the Olympics,
tune in.
So we'll want to tune in live.
I actually forgot we were logged into Haley's until I went to then go log in after I had gotten the subscription on my phone for myself, and then I was like, oh, okay, well I guess I got it, so I'll just log out and log in for myself.
Yeah, we're watching night 2. Obviously, night 1 had already happened, and so Charlize Jones, Sky Blakely, and Kayla DiCello, they'd all injured themselves night 1,
which is like so insane, the timing of that.
I'm not saying there was any like equipment issues, because like I'm sure they test that stuff, but like it is kind of crazy that like that many people got hurt. Mm-hmm. But whatever. I'm like obviously sad for them. I think that all 3 of them had very good chances of like being on the team or alternates to the team, and just like it's really sad when you see all of like the time and effort and energy they've put in since the last Olympics.
And it's just like
not so much for Sky, because this is her first like quad, but
it's just like it's a lot of work to then be able to like say I'm gonna do this for another 4 years.
And like you have to rehab now. Like it's the rehab and then like getting back out there and like getting back to the level that you were at, and then now you have to peak all over again at just the right time to get selected.
Anyways, so we were watching the whole thing yesterday. We basically had it on the whole time, and I gotta say I love the leotards they have, at least for the trials. That's not obviously going to be the same as what they wear for the Olympic Games, but I kind of liked the little maximalist type of style, and I didn't think it was tacky, but I thought it was very patriotic looking, and I liked the 3/4 sleeve.
I always love a 3/4 sleeve.
I love a 3/4 sleeve, and I just liked the look of them all.
What we didn't love was the warm-up. I don't even know if it was a warm-up.
Whatever they came out in when they announced the team, those little white outfits.
I was like, why do you look like JoJo Siwa right now?
They looked like they were like pop star type of outfits, like little.
And the men were not wearing that.
Tight but flare.
It was like shoulder pads, like it was white.
It was like a white leather jacket, a white bomber jacket with like shoulder pads, and then white like skinny but like flare zippy, pants.
It was weird.
I was not a fan of those. Ciera and I did end up predicting which like I act like this was like the biggest deal ever because like the whole time they're basically like these 4 are locked, and then
the last one we'll see.
And Ciera and I then said correctly. Like the 4 on lock, and then the correct 5th spot and the 2 alternates. It was the top 7, but
this was during the competition, so we didn't know. I'm pleased with like the team that we're sending out. Obviously, like who knows what would or will happen with like what team we could have had versus the team we do have, but I think that we have very strong, like we just have a bunch of strong gymnasts anyways that like, I mean, you've heard people say it before, but like we could send like 2 teams probably of like US gymnasts and like they could both probably medal. So I think that's reassuring. Honestly, all I want is just like a safe, healthy, and happy Olympics for our gymnasts.
I hope that they bring home the gold because they didn't last time, and that'd be, you know, we got to get back on track. But I think that we have a good team to do it. I almost kind of wonder if they find the Olympic trials more stressful than the Olympics, but I don't know.
I could like see how it would be more stressful
because I feel like at least like once you've made it, like you're an Olympian no matter what. Like now you can say you went to the Olympics, you fulfilled like that was your dream of getting there. And
like anything else is just gravy, you know?
Yeah. What was your favorite routine to watch?
Oh gosh. Suni's bar routine really like stuck out to me. Like she really, I don't know if that was like the first routine that like we watched of the night. But I just like, I know how much she's like had to overcome with like her health stuff going on, and like I just honestly like wasn't sure she like had it in her to come back and be the all-around gymnast that like I felt we needed for her to be on the team. Just because like I know with her setbacks, she hadn't been training all the events as consistently, she hadn't been competing all the events as consistently, and then I was just like, I just don't know if you're gonna be able to hit the marks on all these routines that I would expect you to.
I've got to say that Jocelyn Roberson's beam routine really stuck out as a favorite to me. Mostly because I feel like I haven't watched her a whole lot because like I said, I didn't really keep up with elite gymnastics, but she has a very like powerful tumbling style, especially on beam. Like you do not see
like
that
Shawn
a lot
Johnson-esque.
anymore. Kind of Shawn Johnson-esque. And she just went up there and like nailed that routine, especially obviously she didn't make like the 5-person team, but she is a traveling alternate. And it was at a point in the competition where it's just like all they're talking about is like how critical that last spot is, and for like the contenders for that 5th spot like needing to go up and just like absolutely nail their routines. And I mean, she did everything she needed to do in that beam routine. It was really good. So that one stuck out to me. Obviously, Simone Biles is a treat to watch no matter what, especially like I would say even more than just like her routines. It's kind of like those specific skills that are just like next level, like the triple double, the double pike on vault. I love the beginning of her floor music. You know whose floor music I did not like?
Who
had the acapella music? Was that Jade Carey?
I thought it might have been, was it Jocelyn?
It was one of the two.
I don't know.
I wasn't a fan of the acapella because I was just like, aren't we not? I know that's not a rule anymore. Like you can have vocals as long as they're not words, but at the whole thing, vocals.
Yeah.
Was not a fan. It was like a Pentatonix floor music basically.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't love it either, but I mean, I feel like Elite always has like some weird music. Like my floor music killed every time.
Jordan Childs had good music.
Yeah. It was
Everyone was like,
it was a Beyonce song, right?
You know, it had to have been Jocelyn because Jade Carey was like AC/DC back in black.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And she ended with the rock on. Yeah.
So that's our trials recap. Now let's discuss. Megan will go to her TikTok and pull up some comments so we can continue conversation based off of some comments, or we can perhaps plan a second
first of all,
outing.
What do you think would cause people to save a video like this? Because this has 159 saves.
I don't know.
Like, that was what I was wondering myself.
Would people like stitch that? And do you get notifications if someone stitches you?
I think so, because when I stitched someone doing my little PT story time, they commented saying like, thanks for stitching my video. So I feel like yes. Or at the
I was
very
like, maybe
least,
people
you
would
get,
save
a
it to
mention.
like stitch it. I don't know.
I've also gotten
That's
like
scary.
a couple people have like reposted this, and I'm like, oh, interesting. Like, I've never.
Have you gotten any DMs or follows? It's like if
I've
you
never
get just
know-
the right guy who's on TikTok.
Just the right guy or just the right girl who knows a
True,
guy.
yeah.
Is honestly like
That's all
I
you
would
need.
trust that a little bit more. Not yet, but I can only hope. So someone was saying, and I've heard this before, but someone was suggesting because they'd met their current boyfriend on like a local sports league or rec league.
You know what's funny? We just had a friend stay with us a
She
couple weeks
also
ago.
said that. That's how she met her boyfriend.
No, but it's like the commitment. I'm like, no.
The
One time a
commitment
week?
alone,
Friday night? No. It's not happening.
that's like my biggest gripe with that. Also, like I'd have to like actually
Care.
I'm not saying no, like that I would never do that, but like I kind of wish it would be like, I'll come try this out for like a session.
I hear that.
And
Granted,
then maybe
we're not runners, but like, don't all of the singles join like run club
Oh,
or
God.
something?
I simply don't think I could do that.
Have you seen like there's like this New York run
You know
club.
what I would do first?
What?
Go to the run club's social media and just look at who they're
Oh,
following.
there you go.
Or the followers. That's an alternative. I don't think there is a specific Des Moines run club though.
But
Not
I was
that I've
saying
found.
there's like this New York run club that like has so many people show up to it, and it makes me laugh. There's like this guy will be posting TikToks and he's like, 10-minute pace group, like you're over
Yeah.
here, 9-minute pace group, and I'm like,
I'd
be at the 10
my
minutes.
crush, I might be in the 10-minute pace group, but
My
my crush is in the
7
7-minute
minute.
pace group. So,
That's your motivation to speed up.
okay. You know, this made me think of something else kind of funny for my outing. There was, when I was reading my book, there was someone that like ran in front of me that I was like, maybe I'll keep my eye out for next time they like laugh around. And so in my head, because like they were jogging and I don't know where they parked. There's a couple different parking lots, but I'm kind of by like the main parking lot. And so I was like, assuming he runs at like a decent pace. This is like 2 miles around the lap.
Megan gets the ick because he's running so slow.
I didn't even see him again. I don't know if he was done or whatever, but I was like, he should be back in like 15 minutes or so.
Set my stopwatch.
I'll keep my eyes peeled. Never saw him again. So I was like, geez,
Where is he at?
What's your lap time?
What's your pace? I need to look you up on Strava.
So, anyways, so if you were to do /me, what sport would you be like looking or okay with? Like, okay, maybe I try this out.
I mean, I feel like it'd have to be like pickleball or something. Like softball or kickball, it's not happening. I am so bad at those that it would just be like the pity, like, oh, like Ciera's up, everyone moves in closer. And I'm like, this is embarrassing. It feels like I'm in middle school all over again. But like pickleball, I actually do have like some interest in. I haven't played it in a while. But like I got the gear. I know how to play.
Mm-hmm. And so when they commented that, someone else commented back to them being like, I'm not athletic at all. And then they responded to that person saying, you can just like stand around and do nothing. And I was kind of like,
what?
Well, if you can do that, then maybe I'll be there. But then I commented back to them being like, where does one find said groups? They said Facebook as like
Did you
their
look?
recommendation. I have not. So
updates to come.
someone else says, put your phone number on a bracelet like Travis Kelce.
See, that's not a bad idea. Also, I had a thought for like when in your video you were like, what do I do? How do I approach these people? This would like take some like forethought and planning, but like it could be pretty subtle. Is like if you were to drop something, then A, you're testing their character. Will they get your attention and say, hey, you dropped something?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's also like you didn't have to do anything except for drop something.
Yeah.
Drop a friendship bracelet and be like, oh, that was actually for you.
Oh, I dropped that for you to pick up, and it's actually yours now.
And it's got my phone number on it.
I
I feel like that only works in like if you're at like a bar or something. You know what I mean? Like how do you do that anywhere else without it being
saw someone
awkward?
someone made a TikTok of them at a baseball game, and they wrote their number on different baseballs and
I
then
did see
threw it
that.
at people. But I don't think I'd be ballsy enough to do that. Pun intended.
Yeah.
We have gone to baseball games before, although like once I'm actually there, I realize that like it's kind of a hard location to like scope people out, because like
You always get us seats that are like, we are right there.
the seats kind of get expensive otherwise. Maybe it's worth
Really?
the extra money. I don't know.
They're more expensive higher up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
So
I would have thought
maybe-
the closer you are.
Maybe it's worth paying a little extra to have a
well, like
better...
we're literally in the second row, and I'm like trying to turn around. I'm like, hello, who is here? Like last time we were there, we were just like looking at the players, and I was like, I'm just gonna look up the roster is for the other team, which doesn't help because those are not the local guys.
Yeah. Can't see anyone behind me. I'm gonna look up the roster now.
Yeah. And then you go and look at the roster. You go to their Instagram. They're married. They're engaged. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah. Or like their roster photo doesn't quite
You're like,
quite give what it was giving on the field, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, never mind. But good for you for being a professional athlete.
semi-professional.
Semi-professional. Someone said take Vegas to the dog park, and then you might just meet a single dog dad.
I do think
Can
that
start
would be
casually chatting about your dogs.
That would be a good thing to do. I've taken Vegas to the dog
Ciera's
park.
got her dog park licenses.
Yeah. I've taken him to the dog park a couple times. There was like a time where like it is genuinely like very easy to talk to like other people who's like, if he's playing with their dog, then like
The few times
we
I've
talk about our
gone with
dogs.
Ciera to like not like a typical dog park, but to, like to Paws and Pines, there's usually people there like with
friends
their significant
or-
other
yeah.
or friends. I have not really seen a single dog dad there, or one that I would be interested in talking to. Like I do have to be a little bit what's the word I'm looking for?
picky.
Shallow.
Select- Oh.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think there was like one time where I took him and like there was a guy, I don't know how old he was, but I wasn't like really attracted to him, but like we were still talking because our dogs were playing. So like that is like of all the scenarios we've talked about, that's the one that's like the least uncomfortable for me, because it's like I've made small talk with people that I'm not interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So then like I'd be more motivated, you know, if I was interested. I'd be like, Vegas, go play with the dog over there. Vegas,
You
go
just
to that
like
dog.
push him off in the corner.
Vegas, go play with that golden retriever. Oh my god, our dogs are playing.
Oh my god, they're best friends.
That's crazy. We should like set up a play date.
Excited for them. He'll be like, yeah, let me check with my girlfriend about that.
Oh, okay. Never
I'm not
mind.
interested anymore. Someone said you should look for local singles nights. That
Bring up the
sounds
TikTok
like
that you-
my worst nightmare.
Mentioned.
There was a TikTok I saw, and it was pretty popular, so I'm sure some of you guys have probably seen it. And like I hate that this is my mindset, but like I can't help that it is.
Well, it's clearly a shared mindset.
In my mind, I obviously know, and I'm voicing that I have a hard time meeting people that I want to meet. That could be, you know, dating wise, that could be friendship wise, whatever. And other people, you know, also voice similar sentiments of like, it's hard to meet people. And so obviously,
Smart people
collectively,
have gotten together and
people have said,
let's set up-
let's make meeting groups or like singles nights or, you know, whatever else. And in theory, those are good ideas. But then I can't help but overanalyze and think like the people I want to be friends with or date, like they're not going to be at those places.
You're like, they're not desperate enough to do that.
Like, I hate that that's the way I view it because I see the need. I really do. But I just can't help but imagine like I would show up there hopeful and then leave disappointed because it just like wouldn't be what I was looking for. So, same with like speed dating. I think the same thing about speed dating. I'm like, the person I want to date is probably not going to be there. Like, they wouldn't go to a speed dating
The person I want to date does not go speed dating.
So, yeah, I can't help, and I probably won't be able to change my mindset on that. Someone said, well, first of all, a lot of people are just saying, like, I feel you. I'm in the same boat. This made me laugh. I texted Ciera this yesterday. Someone said, have Ciera set you up.
I would set myself up
right?
first.
If Ciera had a feasible option,
I wouldn't be
she
like,
would
well,
be-
Megan, here you go. I'd be like, this is for me.
yeah.
So,
that made
if
me
I
laugh.
don't have anyone, I'm not sending someone Megan's way.
I have had, well, I've told Haley and Maggie to try and set
They've
me
tried.
up. They've tried, but to no
Our
avail.
dad has tried setting
Our
us
dad
up.
even was pulling out the stops of like, if anyone
He was
at
like,
all,
this guy that works at the gym that I go to.
and like with the best intentions, but like what it comes down to is like, it's either a yes or no based off of like literally just my judgment of like what they look like, and you're either my type or you're not, and if you're not, like there's just not much I can do. So that's the biggest issue that I'm facing. Obviously, personality, morals, all of that comes into play.
When you
After the
only
fact.
have...
Think of it. It's like a barrier to entry, and then like there's other standards after that. But like I need that first
You need the first go
check.
ahead. And people, you guys aren't stupid. If you guys are dating someone or you're single, like, you all know you have to be attracted to someone to a certain extent to
Yeah.
care about pursuing anything. So, shallow
Especially
or
if
not,
you're going into something like straight away as like a
with
date with
romantic
knowing
intentions,
nothing
yeah.
else. You can totally like if you do like this club sports route, or if you have a situation where you're like constantly seeing people day to day,
and you get to
then you
know
get to
them,
know
then
someone
like,
first.
okay, that attraction can build. Like, and I totally, like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not even saying, like, oh, you thought they were ugly, like, then they get more attractive. Like, I'm saying that, like, you had no intention of, like, anything romantic happening, and, like, all of a sudden you're like, I actually do like this person, and, like, I am attracted to them.
Mm-hmm.
Versus when you just have, like, I don't know anything about this person, but my intention is
don't
something
know
romantic, then, like, I'm going to say, okay, well, then, yeah, I don't care about anything except for how they look right now.
Mm-hmm. Those were the main comments.
I think your next outing should be going to the driving range.
That honestly,
Like, that is,
but by myself.
Yes.
Oh my god.
you're going to be so bad that, like, the guy's going to be, like, walking and be like, please let me help you. You suck.
That should be my mindset, probably.
Like, okay,
I
here,
think
listen,
the driving
listen,
range would be.
listen.
That's
Listen,
where the
listen,
cute guys
listen.
are gonna be.
The worst that can happen is that no one talks to you. And you look like an absolute fool. But no one says anything. You're none the wiser. Second worst thing that can happen. Someone does come up, but they're, like, not your type, not attractive at all, and they give you some pointers. Maybe you get annoyed. Maybe that's the worst thing. I don't know. Or you get someone that comes up. And, like, I would imagine if a guy is, like, going to give you any pointers, like, he's not just doing it out of, like, the kindness of his heart. You know? Call me
Yeah.
crazy. But, like, I would guess there'd be some baseline interest there. And you did want to try to golf. You
I
got
know.
clubs.
I know.
You just need
Well,
to
they're
do
my
it without...
mom's clubs.
Do it without me. Do it without grandma. Do it without mom.
Maybe to help boost my confidence a little bit, you come with me at least one other time
What do you mean? What do you need me for?
as a safety net.
For what?
To just the
To help you
camaraderie.
golf?
Yes.
Okay, why are you asking me to help you golf? I can't
I
golf.
just want the camaraderie of having someone else that I'm going to do horrible with.
Maybe. We can
We could
potentially
be in
go one
separate
time
stalls
to scope things out.
and be like, is this a promising place? I just
We've
like the
already done
idea
that.
of going by myself is like for some reason mortifying to me. I can't help it.
Is it mortifying because you're bad?
Yeah, I think so. If I was good, I think I would have been there 5 times already.
You're like, look at me go. Maybe. I don't know how much you care about golfing, but, like, I really don't care about golfing. I'm trying to date someone who is a golfer, but I won't golf.
I would rather run the golf cart.
Like,
But-
I'll bring my book. I'll do the driving. That's what I would like to do. But, hey, if they say find your future boyfriend in the, like, areas that
Yeah.
he would be. Your future
And
boyfriend
who
probably goes
knows,
to the driving
maybe-
range.
I don't know how this would work because, like, I don't know. But even if you're there, like, there could be situations where even if you were there, I could still go up and talk to someone or
Like,
vice
that was a
versa.
really nice swing over there. Can you come over here and show me how
Hey.
it's done?
Could you record my swing for me? He's
like, God,
oh
that
my
sucked."
God. He's like walking back to like, I would say clubhouse, but like at the driving range I'm thinking of, it's like not a clubhouse, but whatever building, he's like walking back. I run after and then I can be like, hi.
Or this is when it's like if you want to be like
Wait till the parking lot.
confrontational parking lot, leave your number in their window or by their windshield wiper.
That'd be hard to like find there.
Yeah, you'd have to like be like,
I watched from the parking lot.
This is like
I gotta bring some paper then. We need to plan ahead.
pen and paper.
They'd be a surprise for them. They'd be like, "Who is this?
Yeah.
I don't know what you look like."
You'd be like, listen to my Instagram.
There you go.
And
That'd be
they can slide into the DMs if they like what they see.
Okay.
And
You
they're like, why do you have
guys.
so many followers? So
We're game planning.
outside of the driving range, what are we thinking?
I have no thoughts.
So driving
Outside
range.
of the driving range, people I know need to start reaching out to me with people to set me up with.
Yeah. One of
That,
us.
at the end of the day, that is still kind of like my net of like things where I'm like, please, you guys.
Well, the benefit
people-
of that, Haley's gonna text us after this episode and be like, "I've literally sent you." Like,
No, and don't send me those people again.
Oh shoot, what was I gonna say? No, I don't remember.
Just I'm kind of like, even like, think of like friends of friends where you're like, I don't really know this person.
I know of them and I've heard good things.
Yeah, like
and they're your type.
I don't care. Send them my way and I will pursue.
I think I was gonna say I am with you. I like the idea of like the friend of a friend of like an acquaintance of a cousin or something.
Like you've just heard of them.
rumblings of them. You don't know them.
I love like we're the only two people that I know that like say rumblings. Rumblings.
Let's start that. But like I like to them to be like vetted just a hair. Like where they're not like a complete stranger.
Like they can't promise nothing because they really don't know them. But
like I don't want to say anything. But like
it was
heard of this
enough.
guy.
It was enough for me to think of them
for you.
Yeah. There you go.
It made me laugh.
Because what are you doing? We're talking about me. What are you doing?
The dog park.
Okay.
Maybe. Here's the issue. Is that I go to that one dog park that we like Paws and Pines.
In a perfect world, one of us meets one person and then through them.
Yeah. But then imagine like with a breakup, if there is a breakup.
Well, we're grown adults and mature, and we would get past it.
Then it would be funny, like we're dating someone and they're like friends, and then like we break up, and I'm like, I don't know if I can trust your boyfriend if he's friends with the person I just broke up with. What kind of moral compass does he have? Anyway, dog park. I am realizing, there's not a lot of dog parks in the Des Moines area. I did buy a dog park pass for Des Moines, but they're kind of far, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is one in Ankeny. I think I'd have to buy a separate pass for that. Maybe I like scope out those dog parks first.
You're not in them yet, but you just see who's entering.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, I
get
mean,
the vibe.
there was one time where I was going to take Vegas to one of the dog parks, and, like, there was just quite literally no one there. And, like, that was not for, like, me scoping the place out. I was just like, well, Vegas likes to go to dog parks to play with dogs. So, like, why would I take him to an empty dog park when I could just play with him in the backyard?
Mm-hmm.
So, I didn't take him there. But I'm like, I need to maybe drive to a few dog parks first, see what the audience is looking like. And then if I need to go
See what the demographic is.
a separate dog park license, then that may be in my future.
Yeah. Or even like outside of dog parks, like any public park that people take dogs to, you know?
Yeah. But then like not fenced in, I get stressed. Yeah. Vegas is not an off-leash dog. I can tell you that.
Okay. Ciera's going to try dog parks.
This is going to be at least a couple weeks out, though, guys. We got vacation coming up.
It's going to be raining a little bit here and there.
So give us some grace.
But
am I going to be posting on TikTok?
You know, I will try. For if nothing else,
just do it for the content. That's what you can tell yourself.
For you guys, for the people who were hyping me up to keep going on TikTok, I will try and keep it going.
Let me know if I should enter a TikTok era of my own.
I love TikTok, so as hard as it is to like do on your own, like I will happily encourage it. Go for it. This is for the video version. but I got a little MagSafe Octobuddy to start using up my content. So, although I did realize this quite literally does only stick to like glass and like plastic stuff and not walls.
It's kind of a bummer.
All. And so that was kind of, I learned that today. I was like, this does kind of limit my use of this more than I thought.
The scope that you thought you had.
Because I used to have, granted, I don't know that I'd recommend it over this anyways, but I did used to have something on my phone case where it was like literally like a sticky type of thing. You could stick it anywhere. It was
pretty strong.
It was pretty strong, and it could stick anywhere. So that included walls or windows. It would leave like a residue, but nothing a little cleaner can't fix.
I had one more update to share, assuming you're done talking about outings and stuff. I forgot to bring this up at the beginning, but I wanted to shout out this new artist I've been listening to. He's not new.
He has 20
I'm sure you guys
listeners.
have heard of him, but he is less popular than Benson Boone. And you know, we're still in our Benson Boone era, but his name is Mark Amber. If you guys have heard Belong Together, that's his most popular song. And I've just been vibing with it. I feel like when we go up to the lake in a couple days, I'm going to be like taking the aux, being like, play his music. 'Cause it's just very like nice, fun, bright summer vibes. So that's my recent listen.
Okay, do we have anything else to talk about?
No, I think that's it. And we're pretty much rounding out to just under an hour.
Look at that, you guys. We did yap for a full hour almost. Hopefully you guys thought this was interesting. I gotta admit, like, I know it feels like sometimes we do talk about this all the time and not
like it's like beating a dead horse.
But also, like, I love listening to people talk about this stuff. So hopefully you guys too. I'm sure it'll be somewhere in the title. So if you didn't want to listen to a full episode of us just talking about our dating life, then like,
it's on you.
Yeah.
With that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. Please follow our podcast Instagram. It's @according_to, all letters, no numbers. Do you know how hard it is for me to like say that without messing it up?
I just usually say @according_to spelled out.
Maybe I should start doing that. You guys can DM us on there, give us some video ideas, or I guess episode ideas. Let us know what you want us to chat about in the future.
Otherwise, we will talk to you guys next Thursday. Bye.